Hello there, welcome back to my channel. This video is for the monthly manicures collab started by Allie here on YouTube. I will leave her as well as the other participants' links below in the description if you'd like to see the other manicures. I'm a little late. This was the theme for last month in February, but I still wanted to share my manicure with you. The theme was fancy candies and chocolates, and here is my nail art look. So please enjoy the tutorial slash walkthrough of how I made these nails. Alrighty, so this manicure is already overdue, and yet I've decided to do something very complicated because, you know, once you get an idea in your head, it's kind of hard to get it out. So we're going to start with a water marble. I decided I'm going to have a water marble design on the pointer and the pinky, and then we're going to actually use any leftover water marble to make a decal. So I've got two browns from Lacquer 22 brown creams. This one's Armadillo and this one's Bones. I thought about using the Hollow Taco Barista bundle, but I think the hollow would actually be a distraction for this manicure. So I'm just going to keep it simple with some creams. Keep it simple. It's one of the most complicated nail art looks to do with water marble, but that's okay. We're just having fun with it. So I'm just going to do a drop at a time. Now I'm just going to take my stamper and pick up as much of the design as I can. Tap off any extra water and we'll let that dry. So for the fingers where I'll be laying down the water marble design, I'm going to go ahead and use Bones as my background. I've already put down a peel-off base coat as well as Orly Bonder. Being honest, I don't feel like including my thumb in the overall design, so I'm just going to paint it with this Armadillo chocolate brown cream and call it a day for the thumb. For the middle two fingers, I'm going to be doing a stamping and decal design. So for that background color, I've picked out Rogue Lacquer's Urban Decay from Polish Pickup 2023 December. It's this beautiful purple flaky, and I think purple and chocolate go so nicely together. So I thought this looked like a fancy chocolate wrapper to go with our chocolates. While our first layer of polish is drying, we'll go ahead and get our stamping image ready. I have this comic plate that I've never used before, and there's this lady saying, "Be pleased," but I think she could also be eating a delicious chocolate. So I want to use this image and take off the background and have her as our main stamping image. To pick up this image, I'm going to be using a new stamper sent to me by Painting Polish. Thank you so much. This stamper is awesome. I love this metal casing, and it's been really good. I've used it once or twice already, and I absolutely love it. All right, now we just take some regular Scotch tape, go around the outside and pick off any parts of the stamp that we don't want, which for me is all these background dots and the text. To get into tighter spaces, I like to fold the tape in half. Oops, trying not to mess up my first layer of polish, which somehow I got on my hand already. Anyway. And then what I can do is kind of slightly roll it in between my fingers to get some fresh tape and continue picking off anything that I don't want to use. These dots make it look like she has a hairy chin. That's okay. Okay, she's not perfect and I accidentally took off her chin, but that's something I think I could easily connect the lines with a fine brush and it'll be fine. We're gonna let her fully dry to the side while we do our second coats. Our water marble decal is fully dry at this point. It is very delicate, so if you're worried about doing this technique, try applying a top coat just to thicken up the decal a little bit. But I'm just going to go slow and careful, using an orange stick to loosen up the sides. And now you can just gently peel off your decal from your stamper. It might rip in some parts, but it's not like you need the whole thing anyway. I like to lay it back on the stamper just to see like what we're working with here. Okay, now we can see what we're working with here. I really like how this part of the design came out, so I think I'll use that decal for my pointer finger. And maybe over here, I like these swoops for my pinky. The rest of it, I'm actually going to use hole punches in heart and circle shapes. I don't know if I can show you. They're hearts and circles to make our fancy chocolates. So I just take that little piece of the decal I want to use, lay it across a stamper, smooth it out a little bit, and there we go. Now the decals that we're going to use the hole puncher to make the little chocolates out of are going to be a little bit more delicate, so I actually am going to use top coat on this bigger piece just to give it an extra layer to thicken it up, and hopefully that'll protect it from ripping and tearing when we use the hole puncher. All right, for the pointer and the pinky, those decals are ready to go, so I'm going to put down some sticky base coat. And we're going to let that get tacky for a few seconds. All right, we've given that a couple seconds to get tacky, so I'm going to figure out exactly where I want to put this decal. I might have cut it too small, actually. Oh well. Really like these lines, so I think I'm going to go diagonal. And it fit. Now we just have to trim up the extra and use an acetone cleanup brush to make it all nice and smooth. Okay, time to do the same process with the pinky. And the handy dandy lint roller coming in for the cleanup. All done. Now it's just a matter of cleaning up the edges with acetone. Oops, I accidentally stuck my cleanup brush right into the middle of my design here, but luckily with water marbles, I think it's messy enough that it's not too noticeable. I changed my mind. It's bothering me enough to where I'm just going to add a little bit of that dark brown color and patch the hole I made. It's like nothing ever happened. And you notice how wrinkly it is from the decal? Our top coat will smooth that out. Alrighty, for top coat, I do like to use a smudge-free top coat. My favorite is the Apipolo one. And that's already helped to smooth it out quite a bit, but an additional quick dry top coat will seal that in and smooth out any wrinkles we have left. All right, let's work on our reverse stamping image. So first thing I'm going to do is get some black stamping polish and repair the hole in her chin that I made. I'm also going to just do a little touch up on any areas of the stamp that I feel need a little bit more detail or need filling in, like the top of her head here. Just doing a quick test look to see how she's going to fit on my nail, and honestly, it looks like quite a bit of her hair and her whole shirt will be cut off, so I'm not going to bother painting those in. For her skin, I'll use See Y'all Later Chai, and for her lips, I've got Left on Red from Holo Taco, a perfect lipstick color. I will do a little bit of detail in her hair. I have this Raven Hollow Black stamping polish just to give her hair a little bit of shine in those like negative space spots. For her shirt, just in case any of it does show up on the stamp, I will just grab a purple cream. This Work Bestie is pretty good for matching this polish, or at least close enough. Again, it probably won't show up on the nail. I like to try and start with the smallest details and work towards the bigger. Got a little too much paint on my brush. I decided she needs some purple eyeshadow anyway, so I'll use Work Bestie for her shirt and her eyelids. Looks a little weird from this side, so I'm just going to double check. Yeah, it looks all right. So I'm just going color by color, cleaning off my brush in between. When I'm painting a big swath of color like this, I like to just put a big drop and scoot it around with my brush, trying very hard not to actually touch down to the image. I'm just kind of pushing the polish from the top, not actually touching the stamper if I can help it. Kind of more of a patting motion, like up and down, rather than swiping. Get to the tip of her nose. See some gaps around her mouth. What's nice about starting with the smaller colors is now I can just go right over top of them. No worries. I was not a child who was good at staying within the lines in my coloring books, so reverse stamping is perfect for me because I can just get real sloppy with this last layer and just make sure she's fully covered. All right, I'm going to set her aside to dry. Since that's the last time I'm going to use my brush for today, after I've cleaned it off with acetone, I'm going to also rinse it with some water, just to make sure that acetone doesn't dry out those bristles too badly. And I always try to swipe it in the same direction as the brush to keep that point nice and crisp. Alrighty, time to make our little chocolates. So I'm going to peel up our decal that is now fully dry from the top coat. And I'm just going to take my hole punches, so this is the circle one first, and just very gently, because it does fold and wrinkle easily, do some punching. Oh, the first two didn't go all the way through. That one finally did. I think I should be able to just pop them out. Let me switch over to the heart-shaped one now. My hope is that these look like little chocolate truffles. Oops. Kind you'd get at Godiva from the mall. I don't know if they still do it, but when I was a kid, we used to go hang out at the mall a lot. And Godiva had this like one free truffle a month program, like rewards program you could be part of. And that was like our favorite thing. So we'd go hang out at the mall at least once a month, go to Godiva. They had these delicious chocolate drinks. I wouldn't call them milkshakes. They didn't, I don't think they had ice cream in them, but they were like just chocolate drinks. They're really good. So we'd get one of those and we'd get our little free monthly truffle, and we just felt so fancy and had such a good time. There's something about being an early 2000s kid and hanging out at the mall. It's the lost art. Okay, took a little finagling to get them out of the hole punches, but there are some really cute little chocolate truffles. So our hungry lady is going to take up most of this nail. So I will just decorate my middle finger and probably my thumb with these chocolate truffles. So once again, I'll just need a little bit of sticky base coat that I'm going to let dry for a few seconds to get tacky. All right, now I'm just going to place them down kind of randomly. These round ones almost look like planets. So definitely I'm glad that I did some heart ones as well to make it a little bit more obvious, hopefully, that they are chocolates. So ended up having a few more designs on the thumb than I originally planned, but you know, they're cute. All right, our sticky base is nice and tacky, so we should be able to just line her up right on the nail and trim off the extra. Alrighty, now that we've got our image and decals down, we're going to go in with smudge free. Now that our smudge free has been given some time to dry, I'm going to go in with my favorite super glossy quick drying top coat from Glisten and Glow to seal everything in. And this will help smooth out any of those bumps we have from the decals and just make it look really nice. I think these water marbled nails would actually look really good with a matte top coat as well to make it look more like chocolate, but I don't really have a good matte top coat that I like, so I'm just going to leave them glossy. They're certainly not perfect, but they are a lot of fun. Here are my fancy chocolates slash candies for this month's Manicure Monthly. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. If you did like that format, then check me out on Twitch because that's the kind of thing we do all the time over there. I stream on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. The links for that is in the description, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.